There's been a lot of Republican propaganda recently about the Democrats claiming that they weren't the ones who wanted to defund the police. And they even had the nerve to come out with this like 7-minute video of examples where they claim the Democrats are saying defund the police. I'm going to play you the whole 7 minutes and you guys can judge for yourself, right?
So we've been talking about defunding the police.
There's some issues that we ask police to do, like mental health issues or policing in schools and all the rest, that perhaps we can shuffle some of that money around.
Suck it up. Defunding the police has to happen. We need to defund the police.
Look, I admit it can't be stated any more clearly, but to judge her by her accent, he, she, they, I don't want to be accused of being a bigot, sounds like a conservative Republican age 65.
Mayor Eric Garcetti saying, take some of the money from policing, about $150 million.
I applaud Eric Garcetti for doing what he's done.
Not only do we need to disinvest in police, but we need to completely dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department.
That was the Grim Reaper, not a Democrat.
So yes, defund your butts. Defund you.
Yes, I support the reallocation of resources from NYPD.
We will be moving funding from the NYPD to youth initiatives and social services.
They are talking about reducing the allocation of resources to that department. And I think every single city in this country ought to be thinking about the same thing.
Yes, I support the defund movement. I'm for responsible reallocation of resources.
And defund the police.
I think you do all those other things, you don't need all the money that's going to the police department. So yeah, I mean, the spirit of it, I do support that.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of us were asked if we could imagine a future without police back in 2017 when we were running for office. And I answered yes to that question.
We are going to reduce funding in the police department and redirect that money.
There's no reason the police budget should just keep growing and growing and growing. They can make sensible cuts to policing.
We propose to redirect over $7 million from the police bureau.
I know for a fact that that dude, that Portland mayor, is a Republican because Antifa claimed that he was a fascist. So that's how I totally know.
That our city, through our city administrative officer, identified $250 million in cuts.
Rashida Tlaib tweeting, no more policing, incarceration, and militarization. It can't be reformed.
When they're saying defund the police, what are they saying? They're saying we want fundamental, basic change when it comes to policing. And they're right.
We are reallocating funds.
The police department here in Minneapolis needs to be dismantled, and we need to start anew.
In some necessary cases, completely dismantling those police forces.
Police departments are taking a sizable amount of the budget of a lot of municipalities and other entities. We need to look at those budgets, pull some of the money back, and invest it in other things.
We are committed to shifting resources.
Our calls to defund the police have been met with resistance.
To stop investing so much money in this militarized police force and instead invest in the things that our community really needs.
Yes, I support a radical reimagining of community safety and public safety.
I believe in a radical reimagining of her face. After all, she's a noted Republican.
I do believe that we need to reallocate resources away.
And will this involve cuts? Yes, of course, to every department, including the police department.
And so when we dismantle it, we get rid of that cancer.
When we said defund the police, the world woke up.
Yeah, people woke up to higher murder rates, to increased numbers of burglary, to shoplifting through the roof, where the DA just lets every single person go, all because of this Republican-led effort to defund the police. And don't forget that in the midterms when you go out and vote. And if it was the Democrats that defunded the police and I'm mistaken, then vote against the Democrats, whoever you vote for. You can't vote for the Democrats. This message was brought to you by the Clinton Foundation.